TV.
Heavy Bag Boxing TV. That's my little bro.
Heavy Bag Boxing TV.
So shout out to my man Heavy Bag Boxing.
My boy at Heavy Bag Boxing TV.
Subscribe to Heavy Bag Boxing TV.
Get at my boy Heavy Bag Boxing TV.
Heavy Bag Boxing, all right? You heard it from me. You heard it here first.
Heavy Bags Boxing. Straight out of Norfolk, baby. Let's go.
What's up, y'all? Shout out to Heavy Bag Boxing TV.
Strength 412 in the building. Shout out to my guy Trio, Heavy Bag Boxing TV. Get your bitch ass in here and hit this bag.
Just go ahead and subscribe to Heavy Bag Boxing TV because he be lit on his channel, no cap.
You are now watching Heavy Bag Boxing TV. Hit the bag.
Shout out to Heavy Bag Boxing TV. Get in here and hit the bag, baby.
You are tuned in to Heavy Bag Boxing. Get your and hit this bag, dude.
You tuning in to Heavy Bag TV. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hey, yo. Get your dumb ass in here and hit this bag.
Shout out to Heavy Bag Boxing. It's the one and only Blazer Flair. Woo!
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Zach, Super 206 out champion of the world. I'm giving a big shout out to my home team, Heavy Bag TV. You heard? Keep it live.
This is Showtime Sean Porter, and you are watching Heavy Bag Boxing.
Thank you for watching my dad on Heavy Bag TV.
You too. Yeah.
You've seen him, you know how strong he is. You can't win.
He's one of a kind, man.
You do not understand what we're dealing with.
Mama, there goes that man.
This nigga here, that nigga there.
You too. What up, you two? PTO Heavy Bag TV. Man, get your goof ass in here and hit the bag. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? My folks, the fam, what it do was good. Mark Nash TV, what up, man? I gotta come over there and pay my dues too, man. What's good with you? My brethren. You know, I don't go as hard as y'all go, man. You know what I mean? You know, I'm a part-time lover. Part-time YouTuber. What's good, man? Oh, y'all ain't gonna believe some of the shit that's going on here, man. Go Turki Al-Sheikh is off the hook. And when I tell you Turki is doing stuff that I've never seen, no promoter, nobody in this position doing it, it's crazy. Shout out my guy RC. I got some inside information straight out of Vegas from what Turki Al-Sheikh is actually doing, and I got proof that Turk, he don't care. Turk's already lost money is deep in the red on the Bud Crawford Canelo Alvarez fight, and he just don't care. You know what I mean? He don't give a damn. I'm most definitely convinced he's just a fan with bread that wants to watch these fights. And that's it. He doesn't care. What up? La Jessica in the building. Mark Nash TV. Coco, what's happening, y'all? Yeah, I'm convinced, man. My man he just don't care. And that makes me more of a fan, man, because it's, you know, it's unconventional. And it's like, you know, what if you woke up tomorrow and one of your friends just, you know, had a bunch of money and they love the sport of boxing and they did what they wanted to do to see the fights that they wanted to see, right? Could you ever be mad at somebody who had the opportunity, right? Who was in a position to do what he's doing, right? Because again, you can't look at him as your traditional promoter or even advisor or whatever you want to call it, because he's not. And I think that's where a lot of fans are getting it misconstrued. You want Turk to be what you want him to be, and he's not. He's not, bro. He's a cat with some bread that loves the sport. That's it. So, you know, he's not going to be in tune with the people. He doesn't have a ton of experience with it because it doesn't matter to him. What matters to him is the fights get made that he wants to make. And lucky for us, most of them, I feel like, has just been in line with what we've been wanting to see. That's it. There's no way anybody could ever be mad at what Turki Al-Sheikh is doing, bro. You can't have complained over the last God knows how long, this past decade or two about the traditional promoters and how they moved, and then actually have an issue with what Turki Al-Sheikh has done or is doing. You can't, man. Shout out RC in the building. What up, my brother? Yo, the man, the myth, the legend himself. Yeah. The Vegas Insider. Now, let me tell y'all, for those of you who's rocking with me, please smash that like button first of all. Thank you. I appreciate that love. If you could do that for your boy, right? If you don't, guess what you are?
You are a hater.
You're a hater, man. Seriously. You coming in here watching somebody use their time to entertain, even though I love this shit and I want to talk boxing, but you are entertained to an extent because you're watching and you won't even hit the damn like button. Right? So do that for me. And check this shit out here. Shout out my guy RC. Let me add this to the stage. If I can get it up here. There we go. Let me see if y'all can y'all see that? There we go. Now this is me right here, just not too long ago, checking out Allegiant Stadium. And shout out RC, we've been monitoring this for a while now, where initially this fight was not going to happen in Vegas. Or initially they said it was going to be on the 12th. That wasn't good enough for the Turk because he heard the outcries of the boxing fans. The Turk heard it. We heard it. Just like niggas be gang banging for all these other. I guess I'm gang banging for the Turk, man, because it's remarkable. We heard he heard the outcries. So he cancels the 12th event, right? And manages to get it on the 13th along with the UNLV game. But peep this. Boom. Check that shit out right there. The Turk has poured the bread into removing the UNLV game from September the 13th against UCLA to a week prior. A week before, September the 6th. Check that out. So they're gonna run it August 23rd and September the 6th. So initially you had half the day. Remember, it was supposed to be Oscar was crying about the fight being in the middle of the day, right? If you guys can remember. He came on, did his whole spiel. Oh, the fight is a big fight. It wasn't. He never thought it was a big fight, but they're going to have that fight and it's going to be in the middle of the day. No, it's not going to be in the middle of the day no more. Why? Because check this shit out. UNLV has now been moved to September the 6th, UCLA, and boom, the whole day. Canelo versus Crawford, September 13th. The whole damn day. So Turki Al-Sheikh manages to move the UNLV game, which I've never seen done in the sport of boxing. And Rob, if you got some time, please, matter of fact, let me see. Rob, if you got some time, come up here and explain this, man. Because, see, I don't want y'all to take my word for it. Rob is well established in Las Vegas. This is what he does when it comes to these boxing events in Allegiant Stadium, in MGM Grand, all of these boxing platforms and locations in Vegas. Please, Rob, give me 10 minutes of your time. If you can come explain to the people just how monumental that this move from Turki Al-Sheikh is. All right. Okay, there you go. And let's bring them up. I gotta hit you with the yeah. Rob is in the building. What's going on, brother? I appreciate you watching and peeking in, man. I didn't realize you was gonna still be up.
Oh yeah, maybe no, but 9:56 hours show, nothing too much.
It ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Now,
But
as I was
it's not the
explaining to the
UCLA
people,
game. It's not the UCLA game. The UCLA game was
Okay.
always going to be September 6th.
Okay,
Look at the schedule of August 23rd. That was not
August
there
23rd.
against the Idaho State Bengals.
Okay, so okay, right here. The Idaho
State. Because you can cross yeah.
So this game is the game that got moved.
Got moved from September 13th to August 23rd. It's so new because it was as of today. Ticketmaster still has the Idaho State UNLV game for September 13th. They have to update the Ticketmaster website updates at midnight tonight to move that game to the 23rd. So you can see the power right there.
Yeah.
If you was to go to Ticketmaster.com, it still has UNLV versus Idaho State on September 13th. But as you see right there on Allegiant website, which they fixed today at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, it's the 23rd. That's how we received the employee email that it's going to be August 23rd, and the fight is going to be that night now, September 13th.
And Rob, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
You've been doing this for a long time now. You ain't new to this, right? You've been doing this over a decade.
2016.
Right? Okay,
9
so
years.
almost a decade.
Mm-hmm.
In your time, in your high position in Vegas, have you seen anything like this?
Never in life. Not even for Floyd Mayweather. Never.
Not even for Floyd Mayweather. Could
never. Ever. When I say ever.
Shout out Turki.
Nobody has ever moved an NCAA game out of their home stadium, field, arena, ever. During
because y'all gotta understand this is a whole football game.
That ticket's already been sold.
Yeah. And see, this is why thank you for being here, Rob. Just to verify just how monumental what Turki Al-Sheikh is doing for the game. And let me ask you, in your expert opinion, do you believe Turki Al-Sheikh has lost money so far by making this maneuver?
Dude, let me tell you something right now. The main event budget of $200 million, that's 150 going to Canelo and 50 million going to Bud, is not even half of what he had to pay, not only UNLV, but he also had to pay Idaho State coming from Idaho, because their people had hotels already booked. They didn't have caterers already to feed the team, the cheerleaders, the band. Dog, you got to pay for all of that for that to change. All of that. That's just Idaho State. And you got to contribute to the university. Because you got people that had made plans, took off work. Oh, we going to Vegas to the UNLV versus Idaho State game. You got to fix all that to get somebody off a deep.
Yeah. So it's safe to say Turki definitely is in the red when it comes.
They're paying for all of that.
And that's another point I wanted to make for anybody who listening, who cares. The Turki don't care, bro. I think if there was ever a maneuver to be made to show the boxing community that he just don't care, and it's not about money, it's not about the return, it's just simply about the fights that he wants to see and the way he wants to deliver them for the people, this is it. This is the blueprint, right? This is showing you everything that Turkey stands for at the end of the day. Because he could have very well forced these guys to have this in Riyadh.
Right.
But this is a fight. This is a fight that as soon as he announced that it could have been in Riyadh, you heard the cries, you heard the backlash. He ended up saying, hey, we'll have this one in the States, in Vegas, right? Because then he wanted to move it from Vegas.
New York,
LA and New York became options
like that,
because the 13th was taken by UNLV.
Yeah.
It was taken. Yeah.
That's their home stadium, bro. That's where all UNLV home games are at, the Leisure Stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, man, it's mind blowing to me. It's astonishing to me when I saw the email and I saw the change of time where, because like I said, I think I said this on Punch Channel, that I had to be there at 6 a.m. to get ready to work the fight. And it was like, and when I was reading the beginning of the email, because it started off due to an unprecedented turn of events, I thought the fight was canceled, right? I kept reading along, and it said, now you have to arrive by 4:30 p.m. I'm like, what? The game of UNLV versus the Idaho State Bengals, the UNLV Running Rebels versus the Idaho State Bengals has been moved to August 23rd. And let me tell you the more significance about that. The NCAA starts their season the weekend of August 30th. So he's giving them a regular season game before the NCAA season really starts.
That's crazy work, man. Crazy work.
Yo, that's crazy work.
Crazy work, man. Yeah, man. And this just goes to what I've been saying all along, man. Understand he's not your average typical promoter. This isn't somebody who I believe has this agenda. I think he truly just wants the best fighting the best, and he wants to serve it the way he wants to serve it, and he don't care what the hurdles or the obstacles are. I can't see him giving you more evidence than what he was able to pull off with this here, man. It's just that's remarkable, man. It's remarkable for sure. Man, I appreciate that, RC, man. If you got time, you can hang out, man. I'm about to go over the card.
And I got one more thing to say. This is so crazy. If y'all want to check something out, I don't know if you can screenshot a Ticketmaster.com. You will look and see and go on the UNLV Running Rebels football season games.
Let me see.
I just want to show the people that Ticketmaster hasn't even updated it yet. It's going to be updated as of tomorrow, but I want you to catch it before they change. Just to show you what Turkey did. Just Ticketmaster.com.
All right. So I'm going to Ticketmaster.com.
And go on the UNLV Running Rebels football.
UNLV Rebels football.
And you should see the UCLA date for September 6th and tell me what you see under September 13th.
Oh, they must have just moved it because it's into the new day now.
Okay, on your side.
I see Saturday, September 6th, UCLA Bruins. Then I see Saturday. It goes straight to September 20th.
Okay, so they removed it on your end. So it hasn't updated on my side on the West Coast. Everybody on Central Time and Mountain Time and Pacific Time, you're still going to see UNLV versus Idaho State on September 13th.
Damn. Crazy work, man.
9th to 23rd of August. But yeah, man, I chill. It's all great. I ain't doing nothing.
For sure. And again, to drive that home, I'm just glad I had you with me, man. That's again monumental for those who care to know just how crazy Turki Al-Sheikh has put his imprint on the game and what he's willing to do to deliver the card that he wants in the fights that he wants, man. It's crazy work.
And now he don't have to be rushed out of the stadium because at first they had to be out there at 3 p.m.
Yeah, because initially it would have been a day fight, right? So it's turned from a day fight to a night fight, and it's what we used to. It'll be on a Saturday night, 6 p.m. starting on Pacific time, and around 9 p.m. Eastern time. What we used to, right? For sure. Shout out to Turk, man. Shout out to damn Turk. All right, man. So I had an interesting discussion in my last live. Shout out DJ and Mark, specifically DJ. But everybody who I had on the panel, they all said the same thing, right? They felt like Devin Haney's the bigger name, potentially the bigger draw, and that the Norman fight was the bigger fight, right? And that was with me implementing or adding David Benavidez to the equation. And, I'm always playing devil's advocate. And to me, it just made the most sense. I said this. I said, listen, if David Benavidez is now on the card, I would not be mad, right? It would make a lot of sense for David Benavidez to back clean up on that card because we know what you're going to get from David Benavidez. His style hasn't changed since we've known who he was. He's a big-ass Mexican-style fighter. He's a big guy with crazy hand speed. He comes to fight. He's going to be on the front foot, and he's bringing the fight to whoever's in there with him. That's exciting.
Casual friendly. Yep.
Facts, right? and that's basically what I was saying. Like, it would make sense. So I want to read this real quick, what Turki Al-Sheikh dropped about the change now. Let's see if I can find it real quick. There it is. All right. Ring Magazine announced this. The Ring 4 Night of Champions will take place November 2nd in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, exclusively on DAZN, with David Benavidez defending his WBC light heavyweight world title against Anthony Yard. And guess what? The main event.
I don't have no problem with that, bro.
In the main event, you're also going to have, of course, Devin Haney, Brian Norman, Abdullah Mason, Sam Noakes. That's going to be for the vacant WBO. Bam Rodriguez and Fernando Martinez. And the presser kicks off Friday. All right. And I'm just saying, when you look at it, it makes sense because you have that Devin Haney. Oh, man, shout out my guy. Flawless mentality. What you doing up? You be up late chilling too. What do you say? Let me read what I put up here. Turkey wants to take over and destroy American boxing, nephew, and there's nothing good about that with his short, arrogant ass. And I don't know shit about boxing. I don't know. You got to understand. He just a fan, brother. Why he want to destroy it when he giving us these cards? Look at this card we looking at. What's the matter with this card? This is a dope for somebody who's trying to destroy boxing or even American boxing. Look at this card. Benavidez. I don't know, man. It's hard to say. And then look at I don't know if you heard the first part of this, right? Or my monologue starting this live off. Look what the lengths he's went to deliver this Canelo and Crawford fight on U.S. soil in Las Vegas on a time and date that we appreciate, right? Nobody wanted that fight in L.A. or New York. Everybody wanted it in Vegas. And they wanted it on a Saturday night. And he's delivered that.
Say, can I say this? I'm looking at this card, right?
Yeah,
this shit look very top rank heavy.
I Well, old Bob, old Bob maneuvering. Well, look, you got Al Heyman, and you got he's bringing everybody together, bro.
Yeah. But I just know this for a fact. Shout out to Brian Norman Sr. He said anytime you cross the street from Top Rank, you gotta pay 1.5 million feet, right? And I'm looking at 2 heavy hitters off Top Rank. Bob came with 3 mil.
I thought he said it was 300,000.
Oh, I thought he said 1.5 million. I'm not. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was okay.
Yeah, I think it's a 300. I want to say it's a $300,000 fee.
What I'm thinking is this is Bob's premium. You know how you could buy the great value and you could buy premium.
Yeah.
You know when you talking Brian Norman and Mason, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think they go out for 300. No just to Brian Norman, but Brian Norman was kind of new at the time, just getting a belt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, whatever the cost, Turkey don't mind, man. Turkey footing the bill. He don't care.
Obviously. You're right.
Yeah. He don't give a damn. He don't give a damn. Yeah, for sure. He said, "Yeah, I know you were talking about Turkey don't know shit about box." He very well don't. He very well don't. But the way I look at it is think about it like this. Let me give you this perspective. You got a good friend of yours, Cleon, right? You and Cleon, y'all been friends for a long time, and one day he wake up and he's a billionaire and he loves the sport of boxing. So he says, "Hey man, I'll take some of this money and go make some fights that I want to see and the way I want to see them." Right? Could you be mad at Cleon for doing what he do? And I think that's what we have in a Turkey out of sheet. This guy he didn't come up in the boxing business. He doesn't have a boxing pedigree. He was just a dude with some money who woke up one day and said, "Hey, in the interest of my country and the fact that I'm a fan, I'll get into the sport of boxing and make some fights that I want to see." That's it. Right? I think that's just as deep as that well goes. And I can appreciate it, man, because if it was me, I would probably doing it. Motherfuckers, what? If it was me and I woke up tomorrow with 50 billion, people would be mad at me, bro. You'll be mad for sure. I'll be making all kind of fights, man. Goofy ass fights. But it's just going to be the shit that I want to see. For sure. But I love this card. And it makes sense for Benavidez because and the reason why I said that, right? I wouldn't be surprised if when he mentioned that Benavidez would be on this card or potentially is on his card, and now that he is, it made sense for him to be the main event because you just don't know what you're gonna get from Devin Haney, right? If you get a Ramirez-ish or esque performance versus Brian Norman, that may slow the pace down a ton, and that might not be fireworks in that fight. I think the way I'm looking at it is 70-30. 70% telling me that fight isn't just going to be the fight of the night. You know what I mean? But with Benavidez, you know what you're getting.
Yeah,
say that again.
I said almost giving it insurance.
Exactly. And you know Benavidez comes to fight. You know he's going to deliver the action. If it's not action packed in that fight, it's because of Anthony Yarde and the approach he's taking to the fight. Right? For some reason, he might try and come out and box David Benavidez, but it's not going to be on the part of David Benavidez. He's going to be bringing it. So it just made sense, man. That's all. Shout out round one. What up, boy? I'll say it's an excellent card, but look at what he's doing to college football just to make a nonsensical, arrogant point. Hey, I don't know. I don't fuck with college football, Unc. So for the sake of being a number one boxing fan, fuck college football. I don't give a damn.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this as a college football fan. So I gotta stand up and have a voice for everybody that love college football. I'm a college football fan. Let me tell you what you're not going to do. I'm going to tell you what you're not going to do if you're Turkey. You might up in a UNLV game. They're not really traditionally ranked top 25 or nothing like that. They just a college in a boxing capital of the world, okay? But what you're not going to do in college football Your ass ain't gonna up in no Michigan versus Ohio State in the motherfucking either the horseshoe or the motherfucking Michigan. It talking about y'all ain't playing. That shit ain't going
right. Yeah, and I felt like this was one of those games you could get away with.
Right.
Right, this was one of those
the
games
Red
you
River
could get away
Classic,
with.
Texas, Oklahoma. You ain't gonna say, "Oh, yeah, y'all get the fuck out of there." Or Cotton Bowl, I got it. Nah, I know you don't.
And how many games in the season would this even be? So it's not extremely significant. It's not like it's a bowl game.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But me, you know, I don't really follow college football, so I wouldn't care. You know what I mean?
Right.
Chappelle, what up, boy? What up? Ain't nothing, man. Hollering at the boy RC, man. Say no matter what Devin you get, he's never been a draw on any card, especially one with DB. Facts. And that's the way I saw it, man. That's why I saw it. It's just you cannot compare performances, man. One is extremely exciting. He's always been exciting. And not the shit on Dev, because I again, at the end of the day, whether people want to believe it or not, I like Dev. I've always liked Dev. I'm inspired by what him and his father's been able to do in the sport of boxing. Look how decorated he is. Look at what he's been able to accomplish. A lot of kudos to Buddy. But as far as the excitement factor, and you telling me it's a big card, it's a Riyadh card, and you want to close the show with a bang, you got to put David Benavidez at the end. It just makes sense. Yeah, round one. So David is the main. He's the main event. Matter of fact, round one was there when we was having a conversation about that potentially being the main event, and of course my thoughts on it. It just makes sense, man. And then boom, here we go. The very next day, I read that David Benavidez is actually the main event. That's crazy.
And shout out to David, man. Shout out to El Mastro, bro. I mean, shit. He is the monster at the end of the day. And I'm gonna tell you something else, Heavy. How else do you set up for the winner of the Bivol Benavidez fight but to have a monster headline?
Facts. And hopefully they can get that fight done, man. I still no word of that fight being written in stone. I'm not so sure what the hiccup is. I know the money's right. It makes me feel like something could be wrong in one of the camps. But they should be getting that fight done. And now that David is batting clean up on this one, I don't want them to mess this up and try and throw that fight on this card. You know what I'm saying? I would want that to have its own card. But Rob, while I got you, let me ask you this, man. So this week, this Saturday coming up, you got Shakur Zepeda, and you got, of course, you got Shakur Zepeda, and you got what's your boy name? Hold up, man. My thing tripping. Damn. I'm tripping. Okay, there we go. My bad, Rob.
Yeah.
You got Shakur Zepeda, and you got Berlanga and Hamza. What you say?
Yeah. Yeah, I was just saying his name. Hazama? Whatever his name.
Hamza. Yeah, Hamza Shiraz. That's coming up this weekend, and it was a bit of a head scratcher for a lot of people, and including, of course, Shakur Stevenson, about him headlining that card, but it doesn't look like much changed. And I think Turki Al-Sheikh was kind of looking at it the same way, like who's going to more than likely provide the exciting factor, and you probably had to lean towards Berlanga in that fight for sure. But let me ask you, man, who you like in those fights, man? You got Berlanga, Hamza, that's gonna be the main event, and then Shakur Zepeda. Now I know you kind of rock with Zepeda a little bit, don't you?
Wait, what?
Trying to throw you that curve.
Yeah, a good one. Shakur by unanimous decision. I'm going to compare this fight to the one I was graced to be able to lay eyes on, the elite boxing skills of Shakur Stevenson when he was at the MGM Grand and he ran rimshod over one Oscar Valdez. Yes. I
For
was
sure. Real quick too,
pleasurably
Rob.
entertained.
Chappelle said, "What's good?"
What's good, Pale? What's good, Pale? I can't see the chat, bro. I don't know how to do all that fancy stuff, but shout out to you, baby. What's that?
For
Shout
sure,
out to the town, too. Shout out to the town.
No doubt. So
You
you
know what I'm
got
talking about.
Shakur in a unanimous decision.
Unanimous decision. It's going to look very eerily similar to the Valdez fight. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, he ended up taking that fight over and dominating.
He dominated from round 1 through 12.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think it's going to be the same thing. Size of the ring doesn't matter. Like I said, that young man is the elite of this profession.
I can dig it. I can dig it. I'm similar. I'm with you. We on the same boat. I just feel like it's going to become target practice because of the volume punching of now. Hopefully they come and they approach this fight different. If you Zepeda, and they'll understand early that the volume punching just gonna leave you open for so many counters, and they'll realize early that Shakur is an elite counter puncher. And if they do continue with the game plan, 5th, 6th, 7th round, I think it just becomes target practice, man. I wouldn't be surprised if you got a stoppage by Shakur. I know that's gonna sound far-fetched and crazy for a lot of y'all, but don't be surprised if he get a stops Zepeda.
Not if you get a cut, because Zepeda don't forget cut.
Yeah, that could happen too. I mean, listen, the way it might come a point in this fight where he's putting continuous pause on Zepeda, so I wouldn't be surprised. Now, the Berlanga Hamza fight, right? I don't know if you got any interest in that fight at all, being your limited viewership with some of these fighters, but do you like that fight? And if you do, who you got?
You know what? It's going to be closer than people think. I think the pressure of New York and the Terror Squad being in the building and him repping the whole NY in this fight is going to be a lot on Berlanga. But I think Berlanga is going to rise to the challenge, because I don't think Hamza is. I'm not sold, bro. Honestly speaking, I'm just not sold on him. I think shout out to 913. Nigga, you've been put on. And this is what my man 913 it means by when he say you've been put on. Have you ever been into your younger days? I know you're a professional man now. That one of your partners had a fire job. He always bragged on it. Said, man, bro, I get hour lunch breaks. They don't be tripping on breaks. Man, I'm making this much of money. What's one of the things you be thinking if you don't ask that friend? Say, dog, holler at him for me. You think he's still hiring?
You
know
feel
what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
I think that's Hamza sure is. He's been put the fuck on.
I know that's right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's what I'm thinking.
Yo.
I think he just got put on. He in the main event. He got Edgar Berlanga. You know what I'm saying? They talking about if Shiraz could get past Berlanga, Turk, his partner gonna set him up with Canelo. Dog, you getting put on, dog. Like, come on, bro.
So because optics may suggest that's what's happened with Shiraz, you think he gets knocked out?
I think he's gonna follow suit, because one thing about the world never lets you down. You get what I'm saying? When you always put that partner on, you get him on at the job, he thanking you that first couple of days, and he making that money. Guess what happened when you get that 3rd or 4th day? You get there, damn. Oh, boy, supposed to be on the schedule with me. Where he at? Oh, he had called in. He ain't take it.
Nigga done called in already.
You're bad.
What? Damn.
Should
So
I
let me
bring
ask
y'all
you this.
back to the
How you
land
gonna call
fight?
this one? How you gonna call this one?
It's Berlanga. Berlanga gonna pull it. He gonna pull it out, because Like I said, I'm not sold on Mr. Put On. I'm not sold on that. The only reason why you here because your partner is the supervisor.
Yeah. Okay.
To keep it real.
I'm gonna say this. I think that length, I think he's like 6'3". And he's got a jab he can work behind. But to move up and see a puncher like Berlanga, it's a little risky. But I think a boxer has the best chance versus a Berlanga. Could he outbox Berlanga? And that's the question I'm asking myself. It's a possibility, but he's got to weather the storm. If he can get Berlanga past the first half of the fight, if he can manage not to get knocked out in 6, I think his chances increase. But I do like Berlanga in this fight. I think he catches him eventually in them first 6 rounds. Yeah, for sure.
That's what I think. That's what I'm thinking.
Exactly. Paulie Walnuts back in the building. I appreciate that. Real quick, everybody who's watching, whether it's Twitter or YouTube, please smash the like button, man. If you're on Twitter, hit that follow button for me. Holler at us over here on YouTube. Hit that like button, man. Rock out with your boy. Get in the comment section, subscribe, and throw a question over here. I got you. Paulie Walnuts. He says, Benavidez is the main event over Norman and Haney. I thought it was Norman Jr. versus Haney headline their own show. I'm surprised these aren't separate cards, right? And I think Paulie was there for that conversation. Remember, I was trying to tell him, I was telling you guys that he potentially was going to be added to this card. And if he did, I wouldn't be surprised if he was the headliner, man. Because again, and for those of you who've been to fights live, which I know a lot of you guys have been, you always want that last card as a patron, right? And as a fan, to have all of the fireworks, right? And again, you just don't know what you're going to get in that Norman versus Haney fight. That could very well end up being a dud, bro. Devin Haney could make that fight a dud. But what's not going to be a dud is that damn Benavidez fight for sure.
That's true.
For sure.
That's true. That's fact.
All right. Let's see what we got else in there. Probably got to know. He said, is either Berlanga KO or Hamza by decision. Depends whether or not Shiraz is running or Berlanga cuts off the ring and gets close range. Good shit, for sure. Flawless. She said, I believe we're going to get the best version of Shakur, but don't be surprised if he gets robbed if he doesn't knock him out, because Turkey changed the ring size and he's still pissed with Shakur. I'm just saying. Now, that's a lot of facts there. For sure. And real quick, shout out Flawless Mentality Elevation, hosted by Dr. Mark. Please subscribe. Holla at him, man. A lot of real shit going on that channel, man, and I appreciate you for it. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. And I don't, Rob, have you heard about this so-called shrinking ring, bro?
Oh no, he's trolling, man. There's no such thing. Me knowing this by being at fights in the state of Nevada, the state of Nevada, that's got to be in the contract, and the state of Nevada has to know the size of the ring way before they even approve or sanction the fight or let the fight even go down, bro. Like, there's no such thing. Oh, we're gonna have a shrinking ring. That's impossible. No, that's he trolling. He bullshit.
Okay, yeah, because I'm hearing them like they talking about a shrinking ring, but I'm watching this see if it's an official announcement. I never saw an official announcement, but I do think it's gonna be the 18 by 18 foot ring.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. It's gonna be the 18 by 18.
What, it's not?
Oh. No, that's what I'm saying. I understand. It's gonna be the 18 by 18. It's no such thing as a shrinking ring. Okay. Like nobody, there's no state commission in the United States of America. If you don't pull that off, you got to pull that off or die. You can't do that.
Yeah, man. And it just sounds hazardous. It sounds hazardous too.
Because now you're thinking about the well-being of the boxer as well. So
yeah. And then what about the apron? Like like if it shrinks, then your corner people got to keep scooting up and some more shit. It just don't. It's not logical.
Oh Lord, yeah, that's crazy, bro. Now we get in WWF. You might as well come out with the table, ladders, and chairs match after that. You know what I'm saying?
So with that being implemented now, that doesn't change your thoughts at all about how that fight might go though with the 18 by 18 foot, which it appears it favors Zepeda?
No, because I'm gonna say this, and this is the answer your boy question too. I'm sorry I can't see the chat, but this also answers this question. Turkey already put out that we have big plans after July 12th for Shakur and Shiraz. You get what I'm saying? So
right.
I don't know what those plans are, but it's kind of weird that you ever seen somebody that's, I'm not gonna call him a promoter, that's sponsoring the fight to say such things like, hey, you know, we got big plans. Like, you even heard William Skull say that they told him that before the fight. We got big plans for Canelo. So you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, do what you know. I mean, it's kind of weird, but the man already came out and said it. So I don't see Shakur getting robbed. But going back to your original question, 18 by 18, 20 by 20, 26 by whatever, the elite versus what y'all said, slow-footed, feet in the mud. It's just about to be what it is, man. It don't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, now Shakur gonna get touched. Yeah, he gonna get touched. But you just gonna see him just, you know, dipping and robbing and doing, you know, like that. You know what I'm saying? What I would like to see, and I in it like this, what I would like to see is for Shakur to put that foot in the tire and just go at it with him. Don't think we're gonna see that. Just saying.
I think we will, but it'll be a little bit later in the fight.
Gotcha.
Initially, he's going to allow Zepeda to get off, you know, get a little bit out of that gas tank, even though Zepeda's got a good gas tank, but he's gonna let him slow down a little bit. But by then, I just think those counters are going to be a deterrent. I really don't think we're going to get the fight that we think we're going to get, bro. That's the only thing about this one.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I just don't think we're going to get the fight that everybody thinks. I think a lot of people think Zepeda's going to come out, throw those 1,000 punches, maybe have Shakur up against the ropes and in trouble in certain spots, and not take a ton of punishment. And I think it couldn't be further from the truth. I think Zepeda's going to take some punishment in this fight, and we're going to be like, God, you know, once you see his head whipping back a few times, you're going to be like, God, we're going to have to change it. He's going to have to change the game plan.
Right. And
Coco in the chat, she said, how? Go ahead, Rob.
That's what we saw against Valdez. That exact same thing.
Exactly. For sure. Hold, let me get to Paulie, and then I got you, Coco. You say Turkey always counts his chickens before they hatch, and it ends up going the other way. He shouldn't get so far ahead of himself. Yeah, man. Hey, he just anxious, man. He's anxious. You know what I'm saying? When you got a pocket full of money, don't you get anxious? I know I do. That money be burning a hole in my pocket, bro. Coco in the chat, she say, how are Shakur hands? I don't know. Listen, according to Shakur Stevenson, you know, he got with Floyd and he put him on with a specialist, and he feels like his hands are good, man. He was like, this is the best his hands ever felt. I guess whatever remedy or whatever regimen he got for his hands now is really working. So we gonna see. We're gonna see. It's gonna be put to the test for sure this upcoming weekend. You know what I mean? And I think he's gonna need them too, because again, I think at some point it's about to be target practice on William Zepeda's ass for sure. But I think he's gonna make it exciting, man. I think Williams gonna make it exciting for sure. Real quick, because I know you are most definitely a hater.
You are a hater.
You're the biggest Terrence Bud Crawford hater I've ever seen in life.
Oh man, hey.
Now, do you believe that the 18 by 18 foot ring for Canelo Crawford, the fight we've spent most of the beginning of this live talking about happening in the way Turkey's delivering it, but in that fight, if he implements the 18 by 18 ring, which I think he is, does that influence that fight at all for you, Rob?
Oh, that's gonna look so funny in that big ass stadium. God damn. I saw. Put it like this: if he do an 18 by 18, do not purchase 400 section level seats because they gonna look like ants to y'all. Do not do it unless you got binoculars. But anyway,
sure.
well, you know Canelo making all the rules. You know that, right?
Yeah.
So it's whatever the Don want, baby. It's whatever the Mexican Don wants. So whatever if he wants to have his water bottle gold and trinkets, is whatever Canelo called it. All the shots. This is Mayweather versus Oscar De La Hoya. You wanted me, so you're gonna play my game. You're gonna play by my rules. If Eddie Reynoso walk in there Friday and feel them gloves and say hell to the fuck no, guess what gloves Tim's gonna be wearing? Bro, do not get this shit twisted. This is Mexican Independence Day in Las Vegas. And this is Canelo's show, my brother. And this is not no thing of me being a hater. Bruh, Terrence gonna have to just nod his head. I'm sorry, bro. Guess what? I didn't call a hater. I'll just keep keeping it real.
Hold on real quick. I'm gonna bring you up Hugo Juice real quick. Let me get the flawless. He says, I don't trust nothing that Turkey says, and his history has proven that he has the same revengeful behavior as number 47. He comparing the man to Trump. Damn. I know that's right, man. I don't know. All I can judge him off is what he's doing in the sport of boxing. I am oblivious to anything else he's got going on for sure. All right, let me bring my guy up here, Hugo Juice. What up, Hugo Juice? Where you from, brother?
I'm from Southern California, my brother. Let me get a mic check real quick.
Yeah, you sound good to me.
Oh, for sure. What's up, my brothers? Just wanted to...
What's going on, man?
What's up, my good brothers? Just wanted to shoot by, give my opinion on this weekend fights, man. But yeah, my brother, I'm from here, from the West Coast, from Southern Cali. You know,
SoCal in the building.
Yes, sir. Where you good brothers from?
I'm from VA, man. Round about them Keyshawn Davis parts, man. 757.
The DB3 brothers, man. That's what's up, brother. Man, them boys were making some noise out there. And you by Norfolk?
Yeah, I'm from Norfolk, and I live about 40 minutes away.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Hey, them good brothers were making some noise down there in VA, man. Selling out
we had a little hiccup, but we be back.
Yeah, man. You know, brother, it's just man, Keyshawn was lined up for some good fights, man. You know, hopefully he's back though. I feel like the fight versus Albright would get him back on good stances with people and with Top Rank, brother.
Yeah. You know, the story just beginning.
Yeah, brother. But yeah, man. What we talking about?
And let me tell you where I'm from.
Oh, I thought you had.
Oh, for sure, my brother. Oh, who else on the panel?
Okay, you from LA?
Yeah, how you know?
No, I'm about to say this.
Yeah, he say from SoCal.
Okay, this is what you do. This is how you get to me. When you get to Ontario and you see the 215 going to the I-15 going to Las Vegas, you get on that I-15 and ride 3 hours, you'll be at me in Las Vegas. That's what I'm calling.
Oh, my brother from Vegas? My brother from the city that never sleeps. From the fight capital.
The boxing capital of the world.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, but low-key, slowly, I think that Mr. Turki Al-Sheikh wants to make Riyadh the new boxing capital, but man, it's too far, brother. If it was a quick little 4 or 5 hour flight, then yeah, brother. But you're talking about 17, 18-hour flight. Damn.
No, he's doing what he's got to do to make sure he can benefit something from making these fights, right? Like let's just say, Hugo, if it was you spending all your money, you would want to bring some of the fights to your hometown as well. You know what I mean? And I think he deserves to be able to do that. Now, as far as turning it into the capital, I doubt it. You'll never be able to do that, right?
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt.
For some of the bigger fights, for him to want them at home, I understand, especially if you footing the bill. You know what I mean? If you footing the bill, you got a right to host some of them at the crib for sure.
Yeah, but what you good brothers think about the indirects and the rules that he wants to implement about the smaller ring, about the Tom and Jerry, about all that good stuff, brother? Let me tell you from my experience, man. So check it out, man. It was what was that one? It was Cinco de Mayo weekend, man. I want to go ahead and pulled out my credit card, man. My hard-earned working money, blue collar, tax-paying citizen of the United States. Want to go ahead and bought that bundle for $90 when I could have easily got a link. But I'm like, man, let me support these young brothers, man. You know, I got a good bundle deal for that ring card in Times Square. I was like, hell yeah, that was on a Friday. Plus, they got the combo for the Canelo Alvarez. I was like, let's go, man. Friday came, the Teofimo. Well, first of all, let's start off with the prelims, my good brothers. Long story short, they were all right. The Japanese dude was cool. The firefighter and the police officer they were cool, but I just didn't think that was something that people should be watching, paying for. Anyways, you fast forward to Tio. He did he could have done more. He could have got him out of there. Man, my boy Devin Haney, man. Oh, man. Brother, he was coming back, but I wish I could have seen a little more from him. Then you go to Ryan and Rowley. Man, another snooze fest other than that knockdown. The next day, the same thing, man. So my hard-earned $90 went down the drain. I feel like my brothers, I don't know what you guys feel about it.
You're not alone, bro. Man, I even hate to bring this old trash ass card up, but you
which one?
The one you speaking about, the May 2nd,
yeah, for sure,
Times Square card. You had all of the right names it appeared to be, but you just didn't get the performances, man. So, but I think a lot of people was hurt about that $90. But see, I didn't buy the Canelo fight, so I was just in. I think it was just for the 50. Okay. Yeah. I didn't get the Canelo fight. I refused to get that fucking fight, and I'm so glad I didn't, bro, because that was another trash fight.
You did a good thing right there. I mean, there was some cool scraps on that one, but the Jaime Munguia one was cool, but then that good brother ended up popping for whatever he popped for. Who else was in that card? Oh, it was the Bocoli and the Efe Ajagba.
Yeah.
That one was kind of like Bocoli didn't let his hands go. And yeah, man, other than that, there was no noticeable names, man. It wasn't like the $20 good, my 20 dub that I spent back in February with the last crescendo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, Hugo.
What up, brother?
I think I just seen you join in the chat where you feel like Zepeda gets it by a split decision. Explain that one for me.
I feel like if Mr. Shakur Stevenson doesn't go out there and doesn't perform to a certain extent, like Mr. Turki Al-Sheet is expecting him, man, I think he's down on the scorecards already, respectfully. Man, Mr. Turki Al-Sheet wants Shakur to go in there and to baffle my good Mexican brother, man. I mean, he's talking the talk. So he is upset that these other guys have been running, have not been performing as they should. Mr. Turki Al-Sheet is taking his own money, wants good performances. So I think that Mr. Shakur Stevenson is down on the scorecards even before getting in the ring. My good brother, same thing as Berlanga. Yeah. I think he's down on the scorecards too before getting in the ring. They need to get them brothers out of there if they want that good next fight.
That's a Hugo. That's a great perspective, and I think a lot of people agree with you there. Where maybe Shakur is coming into this fight down on the scorecard, so to speak, because the unwritten rule implemented basically by Turki Al-Sheet saying, hey, I don't want to see any running, right? So with that being in mind, and most definitely probably being spoken to the judges, and the judges getting an understanding that they expect to see some action in these fights, and we all know how that judge situation should get. He could very well be down on his card, and I asked you that because you're not the first person I've seen say that Shakur could potentially lose his fight via split decision. So that is something to consider. I think that's a great perspective, man, for sure. Real quick, Paulie Walnuts in the chat, he said, I'm pretty sure it's been reported by the media that it's officially 18 by 18. I don't think it should affect fighters as skilled as Crawford and Shakur. I don't think so neither, man, but we gonna see. Like sometimes when you shrink that ring and you can't really get a rhythm off your back foot because you like to kind of dance to get into that rhythm and you don't really have that space. And by the time you back up, your back is against the ropes. That shit is different, but we gonna see. All right, let me bring up my guy Punch Talk out there in the building. What up, Punch?
What's going on, Heavy? RC? Homies in the chat. What's going on with y'all tonight?
What's good, brother? Ain't nothing, man. Just talking a little bit of boxing. RC looked like RC dropped off. He was gracious enough to give us a little bit of his time.
Yeah, Big Turk making big moves out here, bro.
Yeah, Sirski. What you like? Tell me what you like and what you don't like.
I like them call. I like this. Me and RC had a debate about this yesterday on my show, and I was like, bro, man, like he like, yo, man, how they gonna have the Crawford Canelo fight and they get the same day as the UNLV game? I said, Big Turk about to make a couple phone calls, bro. You'll see. RC like, yeah, right, nigga, this shit gonna be during the daytime. I'm like, man, Big Turk gonna make a couple phone calls. You'll see. Bam. What happens, nigga? Money move mountains, bro. You know what I mean?
That's it.
And it ain't hard if you got the money to back it up, man. Could you imagine how much it costs to get the UNLV game changed to a different date, bro? That's big.
What about the?
I don't know if you peeped the beginning of the show, but yeah, I just went over the whole spiel, man.
What about
how
that
they
UFC
move
event,
this whole game, man? This whole UNLV game. It's out of there. We went from not having that date, UNLV having that date, to being on the date with UNLV, and now they got the whole damn date.
Which brings the question, because RC kept on saying like that shit ain't gonna sell out. Now it could possibly sell out the whole stadium.
I think they got it done early enough to make a real attempt to. I don't think it sells out neither. Man, you're talking about 65,000. I
don't think it's going to sell out 65,000, but I'm expecting at least 50.
Yeah, that would still be a good turnout to me. Go ahead, Hugo. You had what'd you say?
Yeah, no, because I know that the UNLV is that college football.
Yeah, that's college.
Yeah, it's college football.
So then they got to move that day from the stadium. Cool. But that weekend is a big UFC fight weekend also. So I don't know how that's gonna play off since Mr. Dana White's promoting both events. If they're gonna overlap or if they're just gonna go on simultaneously, that's another thing too. Because if you guys remember that Turki Al-Sheet was in talks that the Canelo Terrence Crawford's card was gonna be on the Friday, not Saturday. So that's something that we should keep in mind also. I don't know if they're actually going to cancel the UFC event. I don't know if you guys watch a little bit of UFC, but UFC has a big Independence Day, Mexican Independence Day weekend card also every year.
UFC Noche, huh?
Yeah,
Noche UFC, yes, sir. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct, sir.
I don't know. RC might know about that, but
you know what's so crazy about that? You know what's so crazy about that?
What's that?
Turkey paying for UFC Noche too.
Oh yeah, because last year he paid for it too, right?
He paid for it at the Spear.
In the Sphere, yeah.
And Canelo shut him down. Canelo beat the piss out of him on it.
Was that the one with Bud was in the audience?
Yeah, that's when Bud got into it with Teofimo.
Yeah. Okay, I remember.
So, but Turkey paying for both of them, so I guess he don't give a shit.
Damn.
Yeah, man, he's flexing like a motherfucker right now.
See, so then a quick question, brothers. So you guys think that he has a right to be enforcing these rules and be demanding that these boxers engage? like an engagement rule? Because in the UFC, there's an engagement rule. So like in the UFC, if you guys are fainting or if you guys are just in grappling or if there's no action, the referee has the authority to separate you guys and warn you guys, like, come on guys, let's get some action going. Or come on guys, just work. Like Herb Dean, that's what he always says. Herb Dean is like a super OG a ref right there. And he's always like, come on guys, let's go work. So you guys think that Mr. Turki Al-Sheikh has a right to be asking Shakur and all the other fighters, come on, guys, let's get some action going?
Yep. He didn't spend enough goddamn money. Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know
Yeah,
why
I think
people are getting upset.
Yeah, if you're fronting the bill, you should want excitement. I ain't mad at that.
Yeah, I mean, it's no way that I'm gonna put up this kind of bread and not give you my input. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you my input, and you do with it what you will.
Crawford is over here talking about like what did that good brother say? He says, "Oh, I've been fighting a certain way, and ain't nothing gonna change that." So like, it's like, come on, brother.
Well, we ain't never. Crawford's never been a runner, so that was never.
True. That's true.
That was never for Crawford.
What about if Haney though? What about if Devin Haney's like,
talking about Haney? Yeah.
What about if Devin Haney's like, nah, brother? Well, I'm just gonna box and I'm gonna just like.
Well, then we cut them out the wheel. We cut them out the wheel moving forward. We don't want no parts of them.
Brother, I wish all the boxing fans could think like you, man.
Well, I'm just telling you. Listen, that's what Turki Al-Sheikh's gonna do, and I think he meant it. Like, you got to understand, especially like the Middle Eastern countries and shit. A lot of the times, what they say, they stand on that shit. You know what I mean? Like, he said it straight up. If y'all not gonna leave it all in the ring, if you ain't fighting with heart and soul and all of that shit, I'm not gonna support you. And I believe I believe he means that. So if Devin Haney comes in here and we see another Ramirez performance, I don't think nobody should be getting excited or be thinking about seeing Devin Haney on the next Turkey anything.
But then people are gonna start talking about, oh well, Norman should have cut off the ring. Oh well, Norman should have cut a punch in between. You know, so it's like my mentality is like, brother, it takes two to tangle. It takes two to fight. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm about to say. That Turkey ain't gonna care. Just like they were saying the same thing about Ramirez. He didn't care. He still made the statement he made. He still said, I don't want to see no Tom and Jerry shit. You know what I'm saying? So he don't care what people think about what Ramirez should have did. What he saw was Devin Haney running around the damn ring.
How you got that fight going, Norman and Haney?
The young fella shakes up the world, man. In my opinion, especially if this is an 18 by 18 foot ring.
Yeah.
And for me, I think this just encourages more engagement, and I think it will do what it's intended to do. And I do believe Devin Haney understands that to some extent Turkey means what the fuck he said. You know what I mean? So I think that's going to make Devin take more chances, take more risk in this fight. And I think we're going to get somewhat of a decent fight. And that makes me favor the left hand of Brian Norman on that night. Yeah, I think Devin gets knocked out, bro.
Yeah, devastating 8th round knockout for sure.
I think he gets knocked out. I know a lot of people not going to pick him to get knocked out. And me and Punch, we might be on the island here. I ain't even know he felt like that. But I think Devin Haney gets knocked out. And I know motherfuckers listening right now like, man, you must be crazy.
You must be crazy.
You know what everyone's thinking, that Mr. Brian Norman doesn't have the experience or he's never been in top world talent, but it's just like, man, you got to give him the opportunity. And I think this is the perfect opportunity. And he got a left hand from hell. He got a left hand from hell, man, you know, and this will be it. This will be it. This will show if he's just a one-dimensional fighter that just knows how to throw the left hook and with the power punches, or if he could actually cut off the ring and box him, but at the same time test his chin. And I feel the same way as you, brother. I feel if he connects a good one to Devin Haney's chin, that is it.
And another thing too that is pressing for me is the fact that once Norman feels what Devin, like once Devin tries to really crack him, and if he doesn't feel anything, that's something else. like, because I do believe, and this is just my opinion, I believe Brian Norman can box with him if he wants to. But I think if he feels like, damn, it's nothing this dude can throw that can hurt me, you know what I'm saying? It makes it all the more like pressing for Brian Norman, which is going to look good on the scorecards as well. So I think even if he doesn't get the knockout, he probably gets a split decision victory. You know what I mean? So it just looks bad for Devin come November.
You cool with them being the co-main event, and the main event Benavidez, or like, do you think that they should be the main event?
I am, man. I said this on my last live, man. Shout out everybody who was there. I said with them adding Benavidez to the card, if they did, and it looks like they did, it would make sense for me for Benavidez to be the main event, because I don't know how many fights you've been to, Hugo, or anybody who's listening, but when you go to these fights live, as a patron and as a fan, you always want that very last fight to be exciting, man. And you know what you're gonna get with David Benavidez. You just don't know what you're gonna get with with Devin Haney, bro. So it just makes sense.
Yeah, David Benavidez would be the most exciting fight on that card for sure.
Now, people are gonna argue and say that why is Benavidez the main event, and if he doesn't have as much accolades as Devin Haney, and he hasn't fought in that world class level as internationally or undisputed, or those types of Hall of Fame accolades. So people are gonna just say, and what they're already saying online, that the internet's shaking up right now, not with Benavidez versus Yard, but with Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. That's actually the one that's shaking the internet right now. You feel me?
Yeah. So, and I would say to those people. Oh, go ahead, Rob.
I was about to say Benavidez is casual friendly. He's fan friendly.
It's about draw.
I mean, you can't lose by putting a fan friendly, casual friendly person as a main event. Let me give you an example. Bob know that with Navarrete. Navarrete get in there and just go to throwing shit just for no fucking reason. That shit drives me crazy. I love it. Right. I fucking love Emmanuel Navarrete. You know what I'm saying?
Me too, man. I rock with sense, dad bod.
And that brother, I don't know what type of motherfucking diet he is doing, or what does he even do in his free time.
Man, let that nigga keep doing what he do,
it's
man.
Like if he has a superpower, it's just like, damn, brother, how
let him do what he do, man. Real quick, my guy D Calico in the building. What up, D?
What's going on, brother?
I can't call it, man. I know you got something on the brain. Some interest piqued your interest. What's good? Talk to me.
You already know. I mean, all these fights interest me. Especially that November card.
Likes, dislikes. What's going on with it?
I mean, of course, when it comes to Haney and Norman, like this is only going pretty much one or two ways. I think the odds of Norman just outboxing Haney is about, the same kind of odds as Haney, getting a KO versus Brian Norman. Not to say that neither one can't happen. It's just highly unlikely. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, we all know Norman got to stop him. And Haney has the outboxing. So,
Fact.
I mean, Turkey's setting it up beautiful, man. All his fights are a puncher versus a boxer, and that's the only way you can really line it up if people really want excitement. Because casuals not going to be entertained when they see two pure boxers in the ring. Like back in the days we were, but the modern day boxing fan would not be entertained by watching two pure boxers.
Yeah.
And
I believe it's a lot of truth behind that, brother. But stay right there real quick. Tell me who you like in that fight, that particular fight with Norman and Haney, and how do you see that fight playing out? And also with Benavidez being added to the card and now being the main event. Does that make a lot of sense to you?
Yeah, most definitely. Like, to me, the heaviest fight should always, be the main event. I come from that old school where the heavyweight was always pretty much the main event until Floyd Mayweather started taking over the scene, you know. But definitely, that's not a heavyweight fight, of course, but you know, it's a heavier division and it's a championship fight, so I respect that. And I mean, everybody got to be careful because I know people count Anthony Yard out, but Anthony Yard, that guy,
88% KO ratio.
yeah, that guy's definitely gonna be the hardest puncher Benavidez ever got in the ring with. You know, like it's possible that he hits harder than Benavidez. You know, he just is not the boxer that Benavidez is. You feel me? But as far as just one punch, man, this dude made Benavidez back up. You know, like I'm pretty sure I've never seen Benavidez win going backwards, but he might have to because even Benavidez had to switch his style up and get on this bike and show that he can truly box against Yard. That's the only way he got the knockout. And the thing about Norman, you know, I question everything because as far as like the last time we seen this much power at 147 was Conor Ben. You know, when he was knocking people out the ropes, and we kind of know that wasn't 100. You feel me? He was dirty. So fighting Haney, I don't want people to be surprised if Norman don't have the same kind of power out of all of a sudden. You know, because fighting Haney, you're not gonna be dirty, and I think that's the main reason that nobody's speaking on. That's why Haney is the most avoided fighter. They're making a narrative that is about his style. No, it's about, you know, his style is the fact that he's gonna get you drug tested. You feel me? And you know, we're gonna get the pure version of these fighters. Anybody steps in the ring with Devin, we would honestly be watching a pure version of that fighter.
Well, you mean now because we definitely seen.
Yeah, we seen worse.
We seen him in there with a Austrian field Ryan. So
exactly.
So what you saying is you wouldn't be surprised if Brian Norman Jr. was juicing?
Man, that power, that power is freaky. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying Conor Ben, we knew he was juiced up, but that's when he was knocking people out the ring. I'm talking about the way he was knocking people out the ring. We had never seen nothing like that. We were like, what in the hell? You know, people in trouble with Conor Ben. And then all of a sudden, he's back down to earth. You feel me? So,
but he had, in his defense, I'm trying to think the last time he actually fought at 47. You know, when you go up, it's different.
I mean, that's when he was knocking people out the ring. Yeah, at 147.
Yeah. So, all right. I mean, hey.
I mean,
that's a perspective.
Man. This is not average power. You know what I'm saying? We know that.
Yeah.
Like, this is the smallest. Well, I ain't gonna say the smallest Mike Tyson because of Tank Davis. But, man, what he did his last fight, rivals every knockout Tank has ever done.
Yeah, it's definitely right up there with that Leo knockout. You know what I mean? I would still give it the Tank for that Leo knockout. But this was him fighting at 47. It's different. So yeah. I feel you. So do you feel Devin Haney boxes his way to a victory on the night?
Like
Devin I ain't got a straight answer out you yet, so I'm trying to get it.
I want to say yeah. And the only way possible is not just gonna be boxing. You know, he's gonna have to just be a pure counter puncher that night. Yeah. You know, because he should not be initiating anything with that motherfucker there. You know, Brian Norman is very dangerous, super dangerous, and he has a point to prove. So let him bring it, and you just be prepared for whatever he brings. You know.
Okay. Now I don't know. I'm
rooting for Devin. It's hard to.
Okay, you're rooting for Devin.
50-50. It's truly 50-50. But you know, if it's a knockout, it's gonna be Brian. If it's a decision, it's gonna be Haney.
So at this moment in time, you can't pick one. It's up in the air.
Yeah, it's so early.
Okay.
But I'm rooting for Haney.
You leaning towards Devin. I got you.
Yeah.
Real quick, Flawless in the chat. He say Devin has to be perfect for 12 rounds, but Brian Norman Jr. only has to catch Devin once with that left hook. And as scary as Devin for Ramirez, he's definitely going to get caught and knocked out. And man, I'm leaning that way, bro. I think, and I don't know if you heard me say this, D Calico. I think Norman is an extremely underrated boxer, and I think he proved that in his last fight. And I know a lot of people are gonna say, well, he just was against somebody who was coming straight forward, who didn't have a ton of footwork, but it was the counter punching, right? If he gets in there and he's at a stalemate with Devin because Devin doesn't want to throw and he initiates, I think that looks better for Brian. But I also think he has the boxing ability to pick and choose when he throws those shots to where he won't get get countered as much, right? I think he'll find the right positions, right? Just like Ramirez, it was a ton of spots in that Ramirez fight where he could have let his hands go, but he didn't. And I think that'll be the difference where Brian Norman Jr. will be willing to let his hands go in those spots where Devin could be caught in between pivoting or not in the best position to counter, if you understand what I'm saying. So
this Brian Norman fight is so dangerous that the very best version of Haney could still lose. Like Haney could do him like Regis Prograis. He could drop him, you know what I mean, off a good counter and all that. But you know, he won't hurt him. It's possible to drop him, but you won't hurt him. And when you do the drop him, if you do drop him, you might make things worse. You might really make this animal turn up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at the same time, that's the only way to beat him is to make him get frustrated. But at the same time, that's one way to definitely get destroyed.
Yeah.
So it's fire, man.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be a good. Now, let me ask you this: 18 by 18. It's pretty much written in stone. Does that influence the fight at all for you?
Hell yeah, because like I'm on the record recently saying that if Turki Al-Sheikh would have been in boxing, Floyd Mayweather wouldn't have been 50-0. You know, because I feel like Canelo would have beat Floyd back then in an 18 by 18. You know, because a lot of the times that he got out of trouble, it was by centimeters, it was by inches. You know, so in an 18 by 18, that wouldn't have been the case. You know, some of that shit would have caught up to him.
Yeah.
You feel me? So Floyd even wouldn't have survived this. So these fighters are going to have to go all out. If you're going to be a defensive genius, you're going to have to be the most defensive genius we've ever seen.
Yeah. It's because again, when you a back foot fighter like Dev and Floyd and so many others trying to get that rhythm, you know what I mean? You'll use that ring, but when you trying to get that rhythm and you on your back foot and all of a sudden you feel the rope on your back, that's a different story. You know what I mean? And that cutting off that ring don't seem so hard, right? A few steps this way, few steps that way, we right back in position. So yeah, that's man, that's gonna be interesting as hell to see how they react to this smaller ring. And the same thing goes for the Crawford Canelo fight, man. I'm already picking Canelo to win. And if it's an 18 by 18 foot fight or ring on the night, man, it's just I just feel Crawford about to be able to take a punch. That's all I can say.
Yeah, man, everybody we name all the way down to Benavidez, and he's the favorite. You know what I'm saying? Everybody we name is gonna have to, all of the underdogs or the Benavidez, the Haney, and the Crawfords are gonna have to be able to take a punch.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people say, we don't know what Haney's gonna be able to take as far as because of the last fight. But he did get hit in the last fight. luckily, it was just you know, it was so minimal that he didn't, you know, he never showed like you know, if he would have got wobbled or if he would have showed that he got hurt, people would have noticed. Oh shit, he got hit. But nah, he was getting hit. He was just, you know, taking it very well, and decide not to get hit twice and 3 times. You know, he was making business decisions. Yep.
Yeah.
Because you know, being that him and Ramirez pretty much had that same reach, every time he tried to just stand there and you know, trade with him. Well, he didn't want to trade. I mean, every time he tried to, you know, stand there and initiate his offense, like, you know, everybody knows what Ryan knows. Swing at the same time. So Ramirez was even meeting him at the same time. And Haney started realizing, like, hold up. The only time this guy hits me is when I stand here and do that. So he just took that option away from the guy, you know, because it was going to be a blow for blow.
He took all options away from that guy, man. That nigga. Man, I don't even want to talk about that fight. That was a trash ass
performance. Yeah. It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
That shit.
You know, the whole card.
That shit was horrible, man.
Card.
Yeah.
You know.
But that one definitely in particular. But yeah,
I mean,
sure.
I'm not impressed with Raleigh and Ryan. Rolly won when he only landed 58 punches. You know what I mean? That's the craziest thing I've ever seen. That was a boring fight.
The power handcuffed Ryan. Ryan didn't want to engage, man. If you go back and watch that fight, the power handcuffed him. And he kept, you know, that right hand up. He held that phone. So he took away Ryan's best weapon, and Ryan couldn't do nothing but, you know, pussyfoot around. That was it.
How did they both get shell shocked, Ryan and Dev?
Well, because Ryan had another real puncher in front of him. So that was Ryan's reason. And Dev, he was recovering from a puncher. So and that's why I really wanted to see. I wasn't gonna be mad if they would have made the Devin Haney Romero fight to see if he could handcuff Devin the same way. I know a lot of people shit on Rolly, man, but I'm always call it what it is and give niggas their respect, man. At the end of the day, you know what I mean. If he catch you right, you going night, and you got to respect that once you in that ring. I don't know if you sparred before, but sparring niggas with power is different. You got to be careful. You walking on eggshells. You know what I'm saying? So, that's real. Shout out Flawless in the chat. He says it's also not average for Devin to weigh 140 pounds, and in 24 hours, 165 with endurance and strength without illegal help, which rarely anyone talks about. Snack crack is real. Shout out Flawless for sure. I mean, that's remarkable for Dev to be able to put on 25 pounds in 24 hours. It's crazy work. For sure. Oh man, my young bull. What up, young bull?
Hey, what's up in the big world, everybody? God bless. What's up?
Peace.
God bless. My guy Rob is in the building. Hold on, man. Damn. Yeah, there we go. What's good, Rob? You must have heard something. What's on your mind?
Oh no, no. Not just because I heard something, but I always got to come to support. You know, heavy bag channel, heavy bad.
I appreciate the love, man.
And Slick and Judges Table and stuff like that. So yeah, but
my man.
Yeah, most definitely. And yeah, I guess what's the current subject we're talking about currently? Is it because I know the video's titled Benavidez and Haney and stuff, but what were we talking about before?
Yeah, I don't know if you, matter of fact, you was there for the conversation. And if you want to give your 2 cents on that, I remember asking the question, what made sense as far as the headliner, if they added the Benavidez fight to this card with Brian Norman and of course Devin Haney. You remember that, Rob?
Oh yeah, yeah, I think so. I don't think I was there.
And I was asking y'all which one's the bigger fight. You remember that? I asked you all who's the bigger fight, and everybody said it was the Norman versus
Haney.
Devin Haney.
Dang, I don't. Yeah, maybe I wasn't there for that question. I do remember being there that night though.
Yeah, I think he maybe, I can't remember. But So it comes out David Benavidez is actually added to this card, and now he is made the headliner. And to me, it just makes a ton of sense. Now you're gonna have a lot of Devin Haney lovers, and that feel different and feel like Devin and Brian Norman supposed to headline that fight. Let me ask you. I mean, does it make sense for David Benavidez to be added to that fight and become the headliner?
Honestly, in reality, yeah, because David Benavidez, he has I feel like not only is he like the better fighter, I would say, but he's the what you call, I mean, like his fight leads to the bigger like event, to the bigger possible matchup, which is him and Bivol. So like I would think that that would make sense.
Yeah. And what about you, D Calico? I didn't ask you. Does that make sense for David Benavidez to headline that fight?
Yeah, I was telling you that, I favor the heavier fighters, being the, head of the card. Even though this is not a heavyweight bout, I look at it like one.
It's a light heavyweight. It's a light heavyweight.
Yeah, it's light heavyweight.
Yeah, I love it.
And for me, I just think David brings more excitement. I think what you're going to get from a David Benavidez performance. He's fought the same way his entire career. I thought it would change just a little bit at light heavyweight. But if you go back and you watch the Vazdik fight and you go back and watch the Morrell fight, both at 75, it's the same old David Benavidez. It's extremely exciting. And to me, it was a no-brainer.
Morrell.
Yeah, he smoked him. Even though you could tell he had been in a fight, and I thought Morrell hurt him twice in that fight. But he beat him up good. But
I don't think Morrell went around.
You're rolling the dice, putting Brian Norman and Devin as the headliner for this one. And when I say rolling the dice,
really?
I just don't think. Yeah, because you don't know what kind of performance you're gonna get from Devin Haney, bro. Like, I don't know how many fights you've been to live, but you, as a patron and somebody going to the fights, you always want that fight, that last main event fight, to be hopefully the fight of the night. And what's the odds of David Benavidez turning in a flop versus Devin Haney? So I think they was like, yo, it's a no-brainer. We know what David Benavidez is going to bring at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I feel like Devin Haney, I feel like this was that was only one bad fight. I mean the one fight that wasn't as good as others. I mean, yeah, it was a bad fight. I mean, there were moments, there were highlights that I saw that were cool. A little pros in that fight, but overall it wasn't good. But
if you go back and watch the last
fight?
4 Benavidez fights and watch the last 4 Devin Haney fights, that shit's night and day, bro. It's night and day. David Benavidez fights are fucking action packed, man. That's just the truth of it. That's just facts.
But like I've been entertained by some Haney. Like, I love the Linares fight. I love the Regis fight.
You love the Regis fight?
Heck yeah, he like it was a beautiful.
It was a one-sided ass whooping.
Yeah. It was beautiful. Yeah, beautiful one-sided performance. And he dropped him. So like it was pretty cool.
So you love that fight if you're a Devin Haney fan, but if you're a boxing fan, like, there wasn't a ton of excitement in that fight, bro.
What?
It was just one guy outboxing another.
Oh, you talking about Ramirez?
Oh yeah. But
no, you talking about the Regis Prograis fight.
Yeah, I'm talking
you
about
like that
that's
fight?
one of the fights I love from Haney. But
I mean, I like the fight for Devin, but I mean, as far as like
he,
as far as so
man. like
let me see.
Heavy bag. My bad.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Like do you ever look at fights and put it in the position of what if that was your son in the ring?
Why the hell would I do that?
I'm saying, how would you? I'm saying, would you let your son be a boxer?
If that's what he wanted to do.
Yeah, I'm saying, how would you want him to perform? Is the question. Like, do you want him to? Number one, of course, you want to protect yourself at all times.
Yeah.
But how would he be doing that? Would he do that? Like, some people is blocking punches with their face, man. You know, and some people are dodging punches. Like,
well, no. Listen, I'm not saying that every performance has got to be Rock'em Sock'em Robot.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is, I just didn't think that was a very. I never think one-sided ass whoopings are very exciting fights. I don't.
Really?
You know what I'm saying?
That's real. That's real. I like that.
Don't it depend on how he's whooping him?
Even the Crawford Spence, I didn't think that was an exciting performance.
What?
I just
Hey,
didn't.
that's honest. That's real. Now
I'm being real,
bro.
I agree.
Being real,
I agree.
bro.
I see his point now. I see his point.
I don't agree, man. That brutalization was beautiful to watch. Like somebody getting brutalized.
Man, for sure.
Now,
I do,
notes.
man.
He's saying take notes, but goddamn it, like let's be honest, it's not the fight of the year. You know?
Yeah, it's not something I want to see. I want to be thoroughly entertained, and I'm never thoroughly entertained when one side is just fucking up the other.
Wait, Kaliko, what fight that year that Spence came out, Crawford versus Spence came out was better than Crawford versus Spence?
Okay, about 2 years ago,
what fight was
a better fight
than that fight in 2023?
Yeah.
Shit, whatever fight David Benavidez was in.
Oh my god! Did Benavidez even fight?
Yeah.
I think it was against Demetrius.
I don't remember all the fights from 23.
Longer
I'm trying to think what was a good war that we recently saw in the last couple of years.
Because we
like
thought
the Eubank and Conor Ben fight.
I mean that
shit's entertaining.
That blew him out the water.
Wait, who?
That's you feel me? That's entertaining.
Wait, which fight did you say, Heavybacks?
The Conor Ben Eubank fight.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I love that one too.
That's on my list right now. Still top fight of the year candidate.
Yeah, but that's not 2023 though. But yeah, I see what you mean.
No, he said most recently. Somebody said most recently.
I know because he said Kaliko said that Errol Spencer Crawford fight was the fight of the year, and I'm trying to think,
it was. I mean, of course,
in that year was
of
better
course,
than
the popularity.
Popularity wise.
Yeah. But
But
entertainment
as far as
value,
the performances, hell no.
Entertainment value, no.
No.
Yeah, I gotta disagree. I think both entertainment and popularity. That because we thought that was gonna be 50-50, and then Crawford just blew him out the water like it was nothing. Like,
but that's what he's telling you, that the best fights are 50-50.
Come on,
not just before the fight, but the actual fight.
The actual fight itself, yeah. I mean, again, I'm not opposed to no blowouts. They always cool to watch, man. But I want to be, back and forth, edge of my seat.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You in the middle of the fight, you just don't know who gonna pull it out.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah,
that's always fun.
It's better.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people didn't like the Poyo and
a lot
Gary
of those
Russell
fights.
fight. I think the Poyo and Gary Russell fight was
a good fight. I thought that was a good
damn
fight, man.
Yeah, I thought Gary was winning at one point
until he took his foot off the gas.
Yeah. By round 6, I thought Puyo had taken over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good strategic fight, man, from Puyo.
Why do people actually think in their head that Matias is about to beat Polo?
Exactly.
Say what?
Why do people think in their right mind Cerebral Matias is about to beat Albert Polo?
Subriel, yeah.
Oh, Matias. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I've been telling people stop sleeping on Puyo forever.
Yeah,
even though he got caught, he got caught with the substance. I wanted to believe him at the time. I just don't know. You never know with none of these fighters. But I could see the skill level before then. It wasn't really about power with Puyo. It was always about the skill level. You know what I mean? And I don't care what nobody say. That shit don't give you no skills. And he's always had the skills.
Yeah, he has the bag.
So, hey, and Puyo has all the same measurables as Devin Haney. Exact same height, exact same reach. No, their reach, their height, their weight, everything's the same.
But he's not as fast as Devin
Not
Haney. His footwork is not as good.
I know, of course. No, what I'm saying. I'm just saying the measurables.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he got the same. He's the same prototype of a Devin Haney.
Yeah, like model.
Yeah. Now Richard Hitchens has the style of a Haney. You know, like these are the type of fighters that T.O. needs to probably fight if he ever wants to fight Haney. He needs to fight. Tune up to one of those guys.
Yeah.
No,
for sure.
Teofimo need to fight, even though my guy Mike Quan Williams lost to what's his name? Who did Andy Cruz knock out? Oh, Antonio Moran. even my guy Michael Williams, he lost to a 140 Antonio Moran. A 140 Antonio Moran is like a brand new Antonio Moran, but I think him and Teofimo and Michael Williams would be a good fight.
Man, T.O. need to be in the mix with the names right now. Even though I think that would be a good fight. Yeah, that's. I just don't think that's a name that he needs to be linked to T.O. right now. Just keeping it a bean. But with Puyo, I think the difference with him is he's just so disciplined. You know what I'm saying? Matias isn't going to be able to drag him into no fucking firefight. He couldn't drag Paro into one. And that's the difference in some of those fighters. They're just so disciplined that they'll do whatever it takes to keep that game plan in their favor.
Like Puyo.
Oh, you were gonna say Klitschko? My bad, bro.
I just gonna say the thing I like about Puyo, like even in the center of the ring, he won't let you cut him off. You know what I mean? Like he really handled business, in in the phone booth or anything, any situation. That guy getting busy.
Yeah, and I feel like if Matias tried to like get into a firefight with Pello, I feel like he's going to get dropped because Pello, he's defensively responsible and he has a very good counterpunching ability. So he could easily counterpunch Matias, and he's going to be on the canvas.
I don't know about that now. I think he's got to keep it away from a inside battle or a phone booth. He's got to pick his spots because the power of Matias is real, and if he puts the right combination on Puyo ass, it could hurt him.
Yeah, but I was just saying, like, based off his level of skill, based off Pello's skill, it is possible if that were to happen, like Pello has the defense to evade and block Matias's attacks and counter him, which could lead to like him being dropped. I mean, I'm just saying that's a possible.
He got better skill. He got better skill.
Potential. I'm looking for Puyo to fight him exactly
shape.
like how he fought Gary Antoine. He gonna fight him exactly how he fought Antoine.
I know, but Matias is not as skilled. He's not as skilled as Antoine though.
But I ain't gonna lie, Gary didn't really bring the skills that night. He brought the aggression, and then he lost the aggression, and he lost the fight.
Matias can bring all the aggression he want, man. When Puyo decide that I'm gonna beat you behind his jab, it's just gonna be hard to. It's gonna be hard to deal with.
Like that's my wild card at 140. I love Puyo.
He not even no wild card to me, man. He a champion for a reason, and I think he can go on to defend that shit versus Matias. If he stays disciplined, the only chance Matias has is if he can lure him into some kind of firefight, and I just don't think that's gonna happen for sure.
Like in Gary, you can tell Gary's kind of like banking on Matias probably beating Puyo. Because he always saying stuff like, even if he lose, he got to see me. That man is not finna lose. You know what I'm saying? You going to get your opportunity, and he going to have a belt. He going to have that same belt waiting on you. For real.
Man, they should have went on and made them unify anyway, man. You got to let that man get it back in blood, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Got to let him get it back in blood, man. That was a good fight.
Yep.
I thought it was a good fight. Yeah, I mean, I think
it was definitely a good fight, bro. Anytime I already have a preconceived notion, because if you ask me, Gary Antoine Russell was gonna step on it. You know,
I thought so too.
I was ready to bet whatever, even though he had been out for a while. That was my only concern. I'm like, damn, he ain't fought in a while, you know. Yeah. And it kind of showed up in the ring rust, in the conditioning. But man, I didn't want to take that into consideration. I thought he was gonna mop him up.
He just ain't had nothing for that Puyo jab, man. That was the jab, bro. That was the money shot.
Yes, sir.
He ain't had nothing for that jab, bro. And he managed to keep it right in his shit.
That's what Turkey asking for. He's like, he don't care if you move, you have to be bringing the offense. You know, and that's what Puyo does regardless.
I'm glad y'all mentioned that fight. That's gonna be good, man. Who they got next though? So Puyo is fighting Matias. Gary Antoine got a fight?
No, but no, he said he's open to fighting Keyshawn Davis.
No. Andy, no. Gary Antoine Russell's in talks with Andy Hiroka.
Oh, okay. That'll work too. I like that fight. I ain't mad at that for sure for a first title defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I ain't mad at that.
I also want to talk
long
about.
as it happen real soon.
I don't think they're gonna. Top Rank probably ain't gonna let Keyshawn come back without fighting Albright. That's probably gonna be his next scrap at 40, the rematch. And listen, I ain't mad at it because it wasn't. I thought it was a definitive win, but it wasn't the best win on his resume. You know what I mean? Like you could tell he struggled in that Nair Albright fight.
He got hit hard.
And plus all of the bullshit. So
yeah, he got hit hard. That was the hardest punch we ever seen somebody put on Keyshawn.
Yeah, that overhand right there. He rocked my boy.
Mm-hmm.
He rocked my boy.
Like round. I think it was on the 10th round. It was like round 9. Possibly.
It was. Yeah, I think it was late. If I can remember, I did a whole Joan on it too. But yeah,
like and up until that point, it was like a master class.
That's a great question though. With Keyshawn now, of course, remaining quiet was the best thing I think he could have done because it gives everybody enough time to punch down on him, forget about it, move on, and then he could reemerge. But once he reemerges, right, and he'll of course be at 140 pounds, that comeback fight. Who would you like to see Keyshawn versus? Let's start with you, D.
At 140. At 140. My number one opponent that I have to see, and I hope it's the very first fight at 140. Keyshawn Davis versus Frank Martin.
Ooh, yeah,
man. Like that's been
neither.
brewing. That's been brewing for a while.
Yeah, that has been brewing. Gosh almighty. I ain't mad at that.
Yes, sir.
What about you, Rob?
Yeah, it was gonna be the same person for me at 140. I would like his first fight to be Frank Martin because it's been a storyline like with that. However, nevertheless, if it's not Frank Martin, I would like Tito Mercado because him and Tito Mercado was kind of Tito Mercado was kind of like talking crazy and stuff like that. And Tito's a dangerous fight too. Tito got power.
Very dangerous. I just yeah, man. His time's coming, man. His name needs to start getting mentioned. And I wish they would have gave him the kind of notoriety that they given Abdullah Mason for beating Nakathila because he beat Nakathila in a better fashion than Abdullah Mason. Matter of fact, he knocked Nakathila out in the second versus the fifth from Abdullah Mason. But for some reason, I guess because he hadn't had a real promoter behind him. I don't know what Mercado's situation is, but I feel like he should be getting mentioned a little bit more than what he's getting mentioned for sure.
Yeah, and you know what's so ironic about Mercado?
He
from out
tough,
here.
man.
He from Pomona, California, and he live in Fontana.
Oh, word. Okay. Well, wherever the fuck he from, he dangerous. And he got a mouthpiece. You know what I mean? He be talking reckless. So I wouldn't be mad at that fight.
He's talking about Richard Hitcher. He's talking about Keyshawn.
Like,
everybody.
I love them type. I ain't gonna lie, them type. Bro.
Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with Mercado, man, but that nigga out here, he talking shit now, and he backing it up in the ring.
I like that.
And again, nobody paid the Nakathila fight no mind, it seemed like, and they giving Abdullah Mason a title shot off the fucking Nakathila fight. I'm like, damn. But that's top rank. Fight. They know how to do it.
Yeah, that'll be a great fight. Him and Keyshawn or Frank Martin and Keyshawn.
Yeah, for sure. All right, fellas, man, I'm finna wrap it up. Damn, time be flying, man. Time be damn flying. Anything else y'all wanted to touch on before I get up out of here, man?
Yeah. One more topic.
Yeah.
Why all this? Why is Shakur receiving all this disrespect from Turki Al-Ashiki?
What happened? I must have missed something. What he disrespect Shakur?
Like he'll like, for Shakur, we're gonna do something special for him. We're gonna have like a shrinking ring or something like that. Like every round, the ring is gonna shrink and stuff like that. And then like he posted a picture of like,
I think he was just trying to be funny, man. I don't know if that was like disrespectful.
Yeah, but he posted.
He was making it funny.
But heavy. But this one was actually a little disrespectful though, because not that one, but that was humorous. But like, what about the other one where he posted a picture of him as a Peta, and like he put like it's an animated picture of like the ring's so small, like only like one of their legs fit in it. And then he said, "This is the ring. This is what's gonna make the fight entertaining or whatever."
Oh shit, that's what he's.
Yeah.
Hey, he taking his shots, man. I don't know, man. Maybe he trying to ruffle the feathers of old Shakur, man.
Cause bro, I don't understand where this all came. Like I watched Shakur's highlights multiple times, bro. Like I don't get this boring, this runner and stuff. Like I watched this highlights multiple times. He got rapid attack speed, he got guard manipulation, counter punching, footwork. Like he dang near the perfect fighter. I don't know where all this like boring talk come from.
It's just because he's a counter puncher and he takes his time. You know what I mean? And listen, let's keep it a bean. The De Los Santos fight left a bad taste in niggas' mouths, and it's been there for a minute. And he hasn't had that signature win at 35 to remove, that kind of stigma. You know what I mean? But it's coming. You got to give him time. Fight fans are fickle, man. We some fickle people, bro.
Yeah, they switch up. Yeah, I see your analysis. But like at the same time, for I guess I'll just say for me, like his recent 135 performance against Padley, I loved it. I thought it was a masterpiece.
Yeah, I thought it was too. I wasn't expecting nothing less from somebody who, what he had, like a 2-day notice, 3-day notice. You know what I mean?
And Padley said he was even though he didn't have a training camp for Shakur didn't have a training camp for him. He did say that he was training. He has been training. So like,
yeah. I mean, I didn't expect nothing less from that performance, man. He did what he was supposed to do for somebody who he didn't train for, or at least came in on a 2-day notice, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he didn't have a training camp for Shakur, so yeah, that's true. So. But he didn't come in cold. He didn't come in cold yet. He said he was sharpening his skills.
Trust me, man. As soon as Shakur Stevenson gets that signature win, and maybe this Zepeda fight, and again, I'm gonna continue to say this, whether I'm right or wrong, we'll find out come this weekend. But he's gonna make this fight look easy, and he's gonna take this fight over come the middle of the fight, 5, 6, 7. Expect Shakur to start opening up, and it's gonna be target practice, bro.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion.
Yeah,
don't be surprised if he stops Zepeda.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like this Zepeda fight. I think it's gonna be worse than Yoshino. Like I think it's gonna be he gonna do Zepeda like Yoshino, but a little bit worse. Like
damn, I don't know if he gonna get him out of there like that. Because Yoshino ain't even put up no real resistance, bro. Like I think you're gonna get way more resistance from Zepeda. You know what I mean?
But I mean, I feel like because like even when he do try to do something, like Shakur defense just like way too like out of there, and like he too slow. Zepeda too slow, so he just he gonna get slaughtered.
Yeah. Because Yoshino got to the point where he ain't even. It didn't seem like he wanted to fight at all. Like I don't think Zepeda's ever gonna be like that. It's just he's gonna realize like, damn, every time I throw something, this motherfucker's landing something nice. So. Maybe that'll be a deterrent and switch his game plan up. But guys like Zepeda, they only know how to fight one way. You know what I mean? So, and that'll be detrimental.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Have you seen like fights where Shakur's unleashing combinations? Like have you seen like the Christopher Diaz fight and the Rosales fight and the Mosquito fight?
Like basically, you mean every fight except for De Los Santos?
Wait, yo, I think you're right.
Yeah. Every single fight except for De Los Santos.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's basically
basically.
Yeah, he was a master.
And if you ever want to see his full arsenal, if you ever want to see Shakur in his full arsenal, just watch the Herring fight
or the 130. All those 130 fights.
Yeah, let's go to the Jamel Herring fight, man.
Jamel Herring. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That'll show you everything that he's capable of doing.
Wow. What, do y'all think Yoshino fight is better than Herring?
It was a bigger guy. No. He beat up a bigger
Jamel
man.
Herring was a game fighter that he broke down, bro.
Yep.
Like that, he was an extremely game fighter that he broke down. And had the ref stopped it, he would have still been going.
Yo, and that was the same year he beat Lamont Roach.
If he does that to Zepeda, he will have arrived at 135. Even though he's already a champion. he'll be a threat to Tank. Honestly.
Yeah.
And I was just gonna close it out saying, like, of course, this November card is super packed. It's already star-studded. But my boy Jerron Ennis, like, he calling out Virgil so hard. He was like, okay, your hand hurt. Well, you'll be healed by November. Meet me in Riyadh season. So, bro, if that ain't the icing on the cake for a stupendous card.
I sure hope they get it done, boy.
Wait, on the Devin Haney fight? On the Devin Haney fight card?
The same card.
So is Devin Haney gonna be moved from co-main event? Like, what is this?
No. I mean, it's possible, but no.
Because that won't even be for a belt or nothing. Well, I think. Hold up, does Virgil have? I think he got like a secondary belt at 54.
Yeah, secondary. So. Something like that.
Boy, they'll make my damn day if they announce that shit.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh, Virgil's gonna get stopped, bro.
They'll make
I ain't
my
gonna lie.
damn day.
The only reason it might not is because of what you just said, because they already labeled it the Night of the Champions.
Oh, okay.
Because every fight is for a belt. So damn.
You right, La Jessica. Shout out my girl La Jessica, man. Let me hit you with a couple of these air horns. She said, what was the point of turning down the fight in the first damn place? So he could fake like he wanted Undisputed and fight Stanionis. So he could pump fake like he wanted Undisputed. So he could give you the illusion that he was going to run through 47 in under a year, sort of like Canelo did in 68. And it just wasn't, it was never going to work out that way.
No, he wanted to unify.
Like,
he
I ain't gonna
unified it, and he got it.
The only thing disappointment.
No, he said he was staying at 47 for Undisputed, bro. Let's get it correct.
Oh, I thought he said to unify.
No.
He didn't. He said Undisputed. But see, the only thing that disappoints me is that he was acting like he was willing to fight Crawford at 154. You'll fight Terrence Crawford?
Bro, he said everybody.
Jerron
Boots Ennis got in the center of the ring and said all the champions, everybody at 54. Yeah. That's what he said. I'm just saying that's what he said.
Exactly. So what I mean is that he should have been game enough to not only fight a Virgil at 154, but come back down and wipe out 147. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I
appreciate you having back.
For sure, D. For sure, man. I appreciate you, my brother.
Good building with y'all.
Yeah,
my guy. Salute, D Calico. But I gotta give him the benefit of the doubt, you know what I mean? Especially given how he looked taking a picture with that IBF belt after that initial weigh-in, not the ceremonial weigh-in for the fans, but that initial weigh-in, he did look really, really small, and you can't outgrow divisions, you know what I'm saying? So if he's saying he's too big for 47 moving forward, I'm gonna choose to believe him because you outgrow the division, you know what I mean? I'm gonna give him that benefit of the doubt. Me personally, now if anybody else decides not to take it that easy on him, I understand, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna give him a pass.
I guess. We did get the Stanionis fight, which I did want that fight. I did want at least one good fight with Boots before going up to 154. I will say that.
Yeah. But see, my thing is, the Ortiz fight was a way bigger fight, bro. It was a way bigger fight, bro. Nobody really gave a fuck about Boots sticking around to fight Stanionis at 47, bro. That was a personal thing, right? I just want to be able to say I unified at 47, you know what I mean? But nobody really gave a fuck about him fighting Stanionis, man. At least I didn't. I would have, if I had to choose, I would have took the Virgil fight for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That's one of them fights, man. Hey, what is
Shadow Band? What up?
What is Ron
Boxing Kangaroo?
About?
What he said? What he said now, Rob?
Ron one said that Boots and Majima fight is set. What is he talking about?
Round one. What the hell is you talking about, round one?
Boots is fighting Madrimov? What are you talking about?
I don't know what he talking about. I ain't heard that news yet. Maybe that's some breaking news. What's up, Boston Kangaroo? Jessica, she said in a few months. Yeah, in a few damn months. No, that was never gonna happen. As far as growing out the weight class, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but he definitely wasn't gonna be undisputed in a few months and outgrowing the weight class in a few months. I think when he weighed in for the Stanley Jonas fight, that told the story for me. I could see where, because see, my thing is when the fighters start weighing in and like they fucking eyebrows disappear, then I know it's over. You know what I mean? It's probably over at that weight class. Like when your eyebrows is gone, when you so sunken in that your fucking eyebrows are gone, it's time to go. And that's how Boots looked to me when he weighed in for Stanley on this, for sure. I'm sorry, man. Shadow Band, everybody, y'all coming at the end of the show, man. I'm finna get up out of here. Rob, you got some shout outs, man?
Oh yeah, same old. Shout out to the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, which is God, man. And shout out to Heavy Bag. Shout out to Judge's Table, man. Appreciate y'all for having an excellent boxing channels, excellent boxing channels, and yeah, I mean.
I appreciate that love. And real quick, everybody who can hear me, man, who's in the listening radius of my voice, I'm looking for a permanent co-host. I'm looking for a permanent co-host that will be willing to go live with me 3 times a week. I'm gonna try and I ain't even gonna try. I'm gonna do this, man. I've been saying I'm gonna do this for a long time, but understand, I'm a part-time YouTuber. This shit does not pay my bills. I make enough on YouTube to pay a phone bill, nigga. But I am going to be looking for a full-time or a permanent co-host or two. And if you're interested, hit me on the gram, on Instagram at Heavy Bag TV. Also, the intro, outro. Rob, I don't think you on my intro or outro for the live where you see everybody shouting out the channel.
Wow.
If you want to be a part of the intro or the outro, also hit me, get in the DMs on Instagram at Heavy Bag TV.
Heavy Bag TV.
Appreciate y'all. All right, Rob, my man, to the next one, brother.
Oh, yeah,
all right, man. Thanks everybody in the chat. LaJessica, Shadow Band, Boston Kangaroo, round 1. Everybody who came to hang out with your boy, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Make sure you smash that like button as well. Least you could do for your manses. Paulie Walnuts, Coco, Flawless, Hugo Juice. Thanks for coming on for the very first time. Thank you, man. I appreciate the love talking boxing. Big shout out to RC for giving us some of his time. Mark Nash TV, everybody. Thank you for the love. So all I got for y'all on this one, man. Big TL Heavy Bag. Oh, the man, the myth, the legend. Let me hit you with it one time for you, man.
You've seen him. You know how strong he is. You can't win.
He's one of a kind, man. You do not understand what we're dealing with.
Mama, there goes that man.
This nigga here?
That nigga. Heavy Boxing TV.
Heavy Bag Boxing TV. That's my little bro.
Heavy Bag Boxing TV.
So shout out to my man Heavy Bag Boxing.
My boy at Heavy Bag Boxing TV.
Subscribe to Heavy Bag Boxing TV.
Get at my boy Heavy Bag Boxing TV.
Heavy Bag Boxing, all right? You heard it from me. You heard it here first.
Heavy Bags Boxing. Straight out of Norfolk, baby. Let's go.
What's up, y'all? Shout out to Heavy Bag Boxing TV.
Strength 412 in the building. Shout out to my guy Trio, Heavy Bag Boxing TV. Get your bitch ass in here and hit this bag.
Just go ahead and subscribe to Heavy Bag Boxing TV because he be lit on his channel, no cap.
You are now watching Heavy Bag Boxing TV. Hit the bag.
Shout out to Heavy Bag Boxing TV. Get in here and hit the bag, baby.
You are tuned in to Heavy Bag Boxing. Get your and hit this bag, dude.
You tuning in to Heavy Bag TV. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hey, yo.
Get your dumb ass in here and hit this bag.
Shout out to Heavy Bag Boxing. It's the one and only Blair the Flair. Woo!
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Zach, Super Judas, out here in the world. I'm giving a big shout out to my home team, Heavy Bag TV. You heard? Keep it live.
This is Showtime Sean Porter, and you are watching Heavy Bag Boxing.
Thank you for watching my dad on Heavy Bag TV.